Allez, salut, tout le monde, donc nous voici sur Where the Water Tastes Like Wine. Pour la suite de nos aventures, on est à côté de Santa Fe, donc on va aller vers le sud. Direction El Paso, et puis ensuite on va aller vers l'ouest, direction la Californie. On va recroiser en chemin Fidelina. Mais Fidelina, on n'aura pas grand chose de mieux à lui raconter, donc bon. Alors on va faire un peu de stop. Alors Alexis qui nous demandait si on n'avait pas déjà raconté une histoire. En fait, quand on a déjà raconté une histoire à un personnage, on peut plus recliquer dessus. D'accord, bah merci pour le ride. Il nous aura fait 100 mètres. Et c'est là la problématique du truc, c'est que quand on a des bonnes histoires et qu'elles nous demandent de les raconter, derrière on n'a plus rien à dire. On a une histoire à aller récupérer là-bas, on va aller le faire. On pourrait peut-être réexplorer El Paso, sait-on jamais. C'est l'heure de la pause sur le pont en construction. Les ouvriers sont rassemblés autour d'un jeune homme qui trône sur un seau comme un roi. Ils boivent ses paroles tandis qu'il raconte l'histoire de l'homme qui avait entendu sa mort approcher. Tu te rends compte que cette histoire t'en rappelle une autre, celle de l'homme qui s'était résolu à mourir, avec beaucoup d'enjolivements. Le jeune homme sur le seau la relate à la perfection, faisant toutes les voix comme s'il l'avait déjà raconté 1000 fois. On est très loin de ce qui s'est réellement passé, mais cette version est intéressante. Tu n'auras pas de mal à t'en souvenir. Alors on peut plus explorer El Paso, on l'a déjà fait. On n'a pas besoin d'argent, tout va bien. On pourrait faire ça d'ailleurs. Où est-ce qu'on aura envie d'aller? Los Angeles ou San Antonio? On va passer quand même par Fidelina parce que j'aimerais bien la déplacer. Voilà, le petit stop qui va bien. Et c'est parti. Direction Californie. Et ouais, t'as qu'à nous déposer dans le grand vide du désert. Alors on voit Fidelina là-bas au loin avec son camp. On peut aller au Mexique, on pouvait pas aller au Canada. J'imagine que le Mexique on n'a pas le droit non plus. Non, c'est compliqué, hein. Passer la frontière.
He's parked his car by the side of the road. A luxurious black thing, waxed so that it mirrors the stars in the sky overhead. The desert dust doesn't seem to stick to it. You find the driver, alone, retrieving something from the trunk.
Well, what's it look like I'm doing?
He asks, as though it's obvious. He doesn't sound like the Okies driving on the road west. He has the cold tones of an educated New Englander. The pointed feet of a tripod dig into the coarse sand, hoisting his telescope heavenward.
You could say that.
He says, idly turning a knurled brass dial on the side of the eyepiece.
Wasn't really home to me, you know.
He searches for the right words, but his answer sounds like it isn't at all what he meant at first.
Too much light,
he says.
It's all the damn electric power. Can hardly see the stars anymore. Had to find a place where the night sky is clear.
Alors cette histoire on l'avait déjà récupérée aussi mais il me semble. Devant ce magasin, un minuscule moulin à paroles raconte avec enthousiasme une histoire étrange à son frère. Le garçon n'en perd pas une miette, bouche bée, les yeux ronds comme des soucoupes. Il lui raconte l'histoire des mouettes douées de paroles qui indiquent aux pêcheurs où trouver du poisson. Essaie de dissimuler ta surprise. C'est un récit que tu connais sous un autre nom, l'histoire du pêcheur et de ces mouettes capables d'appeler les poissons. La version que la fillette a dû entendre est enjolivée. Il n'y a rien de le dire, mais bon, ça reste une bonne histoire. C'est pas un garçon au début du... Bref. Est-ce qu'on a pris tout ce qui traînait là comme ragot? Allez, Fidelina.
It is good to see you. My journey is hard and my thoughts are hard. I am glad to see a friend. I often think about mi familia, about how they have changed, about how the world has changed. My niece's husband is not the only one to lose respect for las curanderas. But tell me, what is the most frightening thing you have seen on your travels?
Bon, on commence à avoir fait le tour hein, quand même des choses effrayantes. Donc voilà, tu vois ici Alexis, elle connaît déjà l'histoire du fantôme d'une femme exécutée à Paris, donc on peut plus lui raconter ce qu'on a déjà. Et donc c'est tout le problème, c'est que si elle nous demande une histoire sur la bonté du monde, on a déjà raconté les meilleures. Je sais pas si c'est... Non, ça c'est une histoire drôle. Ouais, on peut lui raconter ça quand même.
What a good story. Like what mi hermano used to tell me as a girl. The land. Today, it is left behind. Los doctores of the city, they use only chemicals. Forget that the people come from la tierra. La curación must address all the nature of a sickness, not just the symptoms. They have the intention of una curandera. But their work is like brujas with good intentions. Oh, please, tell me a story sobre la esperanza and all the good in this world.
Voilà, et là c'est le drame. Ici on a donné de l'eau. Ça s'était bien passé. On va tenter ça.
What a good story. Esperanza. It is the most important, I think. My wishes. Every time I succeed in una curación, I am thankful. I have helped a lot of people in my life. I hope to help more before I go. But tell me, you must have had muchas aventuras on your travels. Can you share an exciting one?
Ah, ça y est, c'est la première fois qu'elle nous demande autre chose. Écoutez, une histoire palpitante, on a celle-ci.
Dios mío, what an exciting life you live. My autoridad used to be that una curandera would command great respect from people wherever she would go. Even a plain old woman would be provided with a bed, food, respeto. Una curandera gives la curación without expecting payment. But now, I find myself asking, no me gusta. Do you have any frightening stories? Have you seen the work of las brujas on your travels? What a story. Mira mis manos. They are shaking. Luck. The community of my village used to say they were lucky to have a curandera. Now, I hope fate bring me to cualquiera that needs healing here on the road. But now, do you have a story about hope? About happiness? And the goodness in the world?
On a tout donné, elle aurait pas pu nous demander une blague plutôt. Alors... Écoutez, on va tenter ça. Hein.
You cannot scare me with this nonsense. I have fought las brujas. I do not scare so easy. Young ones. Always they want to travel the world. They forget that their spirit must travel too, not just the body. Very few youth now go on the journey. Espiritu, and they are weaker for it. I am the last of my brothers and sisters, the oldest of my family. I should be la doña. Instead, I am a simple and old woman who wanders alone. My ways, the ways of old, they are being left behind like me. Is it the same for you? Are you being left behind by the world?
Ah. Bah écoutez, on s'en sera sorti quand même. C'est le GG, l'histoire complète de Fidelina. Il y aura plein d'autres choses. Hein. Si jamais on rejouait, il y a plein de trucs auxquels elle a pas... Plein de trucs qu'elle nous a pas raconté puisqu'on a choisi certains thèmes et du coup on n'a pas pu choisir tous les thèmes évidemment. Devant cet hôtel, une interminable voiture noire gronde. En sort une femme vêtue d'un manteau et d'un chapeau extravagant, suivie d'une foule d'admirateurs. Est-ce une chanteuse, une actrice? Son visage ne t'est pas familier. À ta grande surprise, tu reconnais l'histoire qu'elle raconte. Avec un fort accent d'outre-Atlantique, elle raconte à la cantonade l'histoire du champ de canne à sucre cultivé et récolté par des squelettes errants. C'est de toute évidence une variante de celle du champ de canne à sucre hanté qui tue tous ceux qui participent à la récolte. Mais elle l'a modifié pour ajouter un peu plus de fantaisie. Avouez que c'est épatant, dit-elle. Ses nombreux admirateurs approuvent. Elle paie le chauffeur de la limousine et s'engouffre dans l'hôtel comme une tornade de velours rouge. J'entends s'exclamer « Il faudrait en faire un film ». Et on va tenter le stop. Bon bah puisqu'on n'a pas été pris en stop, on va aller chercher une histoire.
They've taken over a booth at the roadside diner, tables strewn with papers and forms. He's in shirt sleeves, revolver hanging loosely off his chest. She's in a moss green dress from 2 seasons ago, and a felt hat that's begun to warp. You slip into the booth next to him.
Tell me again where you saw him last?
He asks.
He was in the car with me. We were just driving down the road.
So where did you stop the car? He asks. She sounds exasperated.
I told you, I never did.
They have the same accent, same drawl from somewhere in North Texas or Oklahoma. But his is subtler, although he's been trying to shake it for a few years. You notice, for the first time, how handsome they are together, how much like a detective movie. But her face is broken by distress.
We were going 40 miles an hour when he vanished. All I saw were those damn lights.
In the baffled silence that follows, you find your cue to leave.
Pues yo no tengo amigo más que el viento y el mar. Y cuando esté frío y falta, estos son los que me enterrarán. Que me entierran. Pues voy a tirar.
The snake flicks its tongue.
That's close enough.
It is coiled atop a carved stone marked with faded flecks of paint. The snake laughs, its whole body convulsing.
It's very special. A good luck charm.
It tilts its head.
I'm supposed to guard it, but I'm hungry. If you bring me some meat, you may have it.
The heat has made a family of mice slow and easy to catch. You drop them before the snake, and it gulps them down without chewing. It slithers back, exposing the object.
Take it.
It hisses.
I won't bite. Trust.
You reach for the idol. The snake quivers as your hand gets close, but it stays put. It flicks its tongue.
Don't be disturbed by how it looks. It'll bring you luck.
The snake slithers off into the long grass. It's an idol, about the size of your clenched fist, carved into the shape of a human head. It's an ugly thing. The side that was pressed into the dirt is a face contorted in grotesque agony. Could this really be a good luck charm? Good things sometimes wear foul guises. Who are you to judge? You stow the idol, trying to ignore its unusual weight.
Pues voy a cargar mi pala en mi espalda agotada.
Alors depuis le début on a récupéré quelques trucs. On a récupéré donc les dés au tout début. Petite figurine en métal représentant un cheval avec un ruban rouge attaché. Un badge rouge de forme simple arborant un aigle stylisé et l'inscription boycotter le raisin. Mais l'idole elle fait pas partie du truc. Ah, on peut échanger des histoires sur attendez. D'accord, bah écoutez, on saura. Non, j'ai pas l'intention de changer d'histoire, mais
Pues voy a tirar estas piedras.
voilà. Ok, je ne savais pas. Donc on a droit à 3 histoires maximum par thème. Et toutes celles qu'on a récupérées et qu'on ne voit pas, en fait, simplement il faut les choisir. Donc, par exemple, on voulait virer celle-ci. Bon, je ferai le tri des histoires peut-être une autre fois. On va continuer notre voyage. Alors, dans la progression, on a rencontré voilà, Fidelina, Dupré, Iben, Jimmy, Rocchio et Queen. Mais il nous reste encore pas mal de monde. Donc on va traverser, on va aller récupérer l'histoire juste là. On va explorer la Californie. Ces gens montent une tente de restauration dans un coin du champ de foire. Au-delà des tentes plus imposantes, encore s'élèvent comme des nuages. Tu veux te faire un peu d'argent ? Te demande le responsable. Passe cette longue journée à transpirer en servant des beignets et en desservant des tables sous les tentes. Mais la paix est bonne. On est là-bas, il se passe des trucs.
The jackrabbit flees across the desert, and the house cat follows. They're equals in speed and finesse, a miniature portrait of lion and gazelle. This drama of nature captivates, even though, if you're honest, the whole spectacle's mostly just adorable. The hare turns as it lands and carries the momentum forward. The house cat reacts too slow, skids past, putting distance between the two critters. The hare races past you. Are those? No, couldn't be. This jack... Your mighty whoop fills the jackrabbit with determination. It turns and thrusts its antlers at the cat, little teeth bared like needles. The house cat hits the brakes and bolts the other direction, twice as fast as before.
Ok, personne ne dira aux stagiaires ce qu'on vient de faire. Sympathique vieillard, qui partage l'ombre de ce pont avec toi, te raconte quelques histoires sans queue ni tête. Certaines semblent véridiques, d'autres beaucoup moins. Tout est vrai, t'assure-t-il. Cet endroit a une histoire qui remonte à l'époque des Indiens. Il y a des trucs bizarres qui se passent dans le coin. Bien sûr que si, dit-il, d'un ton railleur. Comme pour prouver ses dires, il se lance dans l'histoire d'un clan d'hommes taupes éblouis par des éclairs. Celle-ci, par contre, tu la connais. C'est l'histoire des hommes étranges qui s'abritent de la pluie. Elle te semble néanmoins plus extravagante et plus étrange que dans ton souvenir. Alors tu vois, dit le vieillard en riant, je te raconte pas des bobards, tout ça est vrai.
Motor's running, but nobody's driving. Flies buzz the windshield. Beyond the van is a driveway, paved through cut green grass to the top of the hill. There you see a squat, rustic mansion. The sun turns your back damp. You arrive in the driveway panting, tongue dried out. A woman is sprawled face down on the lawn. Pink skirt, white shirt, her copper blood staining the grass. Another one, a man in waistcoat and boots, slumped by the doorstep. Scrawled across the door in red is the word pig. She hangs by a noose from the ceiling beam. Blonde, dripping blood, and pregnant. She's in her underwear. And though you only have a glance to go on, you could swear that she's smiling.
Ok, à aucun moment on a parlé du minibus, ou quasiment.
A Chevy sedan laden with suitcases chugs to a stop beside you. A woman leans out the window. An infant screaming, and two boys are punching each other in the back seat.
Could you drive us for a while? I gotta feed the baby, but we need to keep moving. I could pay you.
You grip the wheel tight as sounds of chaos fill the car. The boys have begun to wrestle in earnest on the Chevy's bench.
Yorona!
Their mother hisses. Both boys straighten instantly. In the mirror, you see their stricken expressions. The only sound is the baby's soft suckling. You direct the question to the boys in the back, but they don't make a sound. Their eyes are wide and frightened. Patting the infant on the back, their mother chuckles. The boys don't speak another word, even when you part ways down the road. In this plaza, Jacaranda trees nestle among adobe structures. A man sits in the shade of the largest one, plucking notes on his guitar. Wind rustles their branches and stirs up sounds of shouting, truncheons on flesh. An old woman fanning herself looks up at the noise. The melody is mournful. In the song, a man bids a tearful farewell to his wife and son as he's rounded up and forced onto a train to a country he has never seen. When the last notes fade, the only sound is the wind sighing through the jacarandas.
Bon, on n'a pas besoin d'argent, on a besoin de rien. On va aller rencontrer la personne. On va peut-être aller chercher l'histoire avant. Quoique, on a vu que de toute façon, si c'est une nouvelle histoire, elle est stockée et il faudrait qu'on la choisisse. Allez, rencontre avec Bertha.
You been in California long? It's been a few years for me, but they still call me Okie. I came west when our farm stopped growing anything but a crop of dust. But when we got here, there were so many others here before us. Maybe you've got less need behind you. I hope so, for your sake. I've had a hard day. Do you know any hopeful stories to cheer me up? Thank you for sharing that one. I feel a little better now. Joy. Oh, when we first heard they were looking for workers in California, that was joy. We thought we'd get here and have our own home right away, and no dirt floor either. Anyway, know any good hopeful stories to share? I could sure use one. That's a good one. I'll try to remember it when I'm out in the fields. The future? Now this is how I feel about the future these days. You know how sometimes you look out in the horizon, and you see the dust clouds shaping up out there, this curved brown wall? You hope it'll blow itself out before it gets to you, but it probably won't. I've had a hard day. Do you know any hopeful stories to cheer me up?
Alors là, il se trouve qu'on a réussi à lui donner confiance tout de suite. On va peut-être en profiter pour qu'elle ait des histoires qu'on ne fait pas trop.
Did you get that tearjerker out of a magazine? Death. Yeah, I've seen death. Back home, we used to have a big cattle barn. Along comes a twister and picks that barn right up a half a mile in the air. What rains back down is all little pieces of wood with nails in them. Anyway, do you know any good spooky stories? You expect me to take that seriously? Life's more boring than that. Home is a place from when I was a child, and the snow was heavy in the winter, and the crops came up, and the soil stayed on the ground. Home's not there anymore. Anyway, know any good hopeful stories to share? I could sure use one. Are you trying to spook me with that? The past? Well, we were dryland farmers. Even when things were good, you only got a full crop 2 years in every 4 or 5. The rest of the time it came up thin and patchy, and you had to scrape for enough seed to plant the next year. After we'd been here a while, my husband wanted to go back to Oklahoma. But I knew there was nothing for us there anymore. I said I wasn't going back there to starve to death. So he took the girls and went without me. And now, I'm going my own way. Down the road this way, actually, to the next job, on and on and on.
Bon, il est probable qu'on la recroise dans pas très longtemps, étant donné que c'est jour notre route.
What about you? Where are you going? What do you...
Alors, chapitre 2 disponible. On va aller chercher ce petit bout d'histoire quand même.
An excitable man in dirty suspenders waves you over to a cave mouth.
Partner, do me a favor, friend. Can you, inspect that cave there? Got 2 bits with your name on them.
The cave interior is nice and cool. There's a whole bear hide, treated and tanned, lying on the ground. It'd be a good spot to rest for a time, if not for the human skeleton. Back of the skull has a hole about the size of a quarter. You find a slip of journal paper inside the mouth. Normal bones, which Floyd the respectable prospector ain't touched nor seen much, merely stumbled upon during honest business. The man jumps out of his suspenders when he notices your return.
Friend! Oh, gave me an awful scare. Making me think you got lost in there. Hey, you see those bones? How do you think that fella croaked?
The man cups your hands and screams in rapture.
My sly friend, you didn't tell me you're a detective. I'd have never deduced that in a million years. Lord in heaven, I'm blessed. Blessed!
After he pulls back, you feel something inside your hands. Oh, it's a shiny silver coin. Great.
Alors, est-ce que c'est un objet qui nous a filé? Non.
Tirar estas piedras sobre las aguas de esta tierra y más tardar llegarán fuera de aquí, porque cuando caiga la noche llega
The steady spin of the lasso is hypnotic.
Help me out here,
Says the man.
I've been hunting this horse a long time. Extra pair of hands to make sure she doesn't get the better of me. She belonged to someone who wronged me. Butch slipped out of this world before I could square things between us, but damn did he love this horse.
He grins.
If she bucks real hard, haul on the rope. Buy me some time. He's dead. His old crew, though, they're still around. They'll bust a gasket when they see me ride in on his horse.
His hand hovers over the handle of his knife.
And then,
He grins.
let's get this done.
He ignores you or doesn't hear. The lasso loops around the horse's neck on the first throw. The rope's in your hands before you realize he's put it there. He slips smoothly onto her back and grips with his knees. She fights, though, bucking hard enough to jar him loose. He slips, tumbling into the dirt, and narrowly avoids being trampled under her heels. The man rolls to his feet, pulling the knife.
Fucking hell! You stupid or just got a death wish?
It's time to run.
White rider, don't come to claim me for I had my time. Those 4 days ride from Tulsa, the rider's still in tow. They were dressed in white from toe to tip, pale horses trot low. And last among their number.
Voulez-vous faire de l'argent demande cette femme. Il porte en équilibre sur sa tête une caisse de pain et de salade. Il aide à griller des sandwichs dans une tente, à l'extrémité de la foire du comté. Le travail est simplissime et en plus, elle paie bien.
White rider, ain't fixin' for to join your faded line. White rider, don't come to claim me for I had my time.
Bang! The screen door clangs in the wind. Downstairs, you hear low murmurs. The wind again? Or voices? You were sure this house was deserted. In the living room, 2 young women are entwined atop a sleeping bag. One has her hands tangled in the other's bright red hair.
I can't believe we found another haunted house.
The red-haired girl laughs. A floorboard creaks under your feet.
Is it a ghost?
One yells. The red-haired girl has jumped up between you and her companion, but relaxes her stance at your words.
Well, if you're talking, you probably aren't a ghost.
The blonde says. The red-haired girl looks to her, then back towards you.
What are you doing here?
The other girl draws up straight,
We
emphasizing the word.
are having an adventure.
The red-haired girl squeezes her hand. She turns back to her companion, her eyes shining. Your presence goes unnoticed as the two resume their hushed conversation. For hours now, you've seen it circling overhead. Its wings cutting across the sliver of sky you can see framed by the crowns of vast redwoods. But it's gotten closer. The cry that echoed from afar now seems dangerously near. And suddenly, the eagle swoops down, claws splayed before it, wings spreading into a crescent of knife-sharp feathers. It dives at you like a bomber biplane, body contracting into a bullet racing groundward. You tell yourself you won't flinch. Something soft and incredibly fast brushes against your face. When you open your eyes, the eagle is climbing toward the sky already. A little forest mouse caught in one claw, wrinkled tail flapping in the wind.
On va faire un tour en ville et puis on va aller voir le camp juste derrière. Discussion avec Bertha, deuxième. Bon, on a besoin de rien encore une fois.
Your knees make a nasty cracking sound with every step. Wandering this infernal city of steep hills takes its toll. Just over the crest of one hill, you find a stopped truck. Yang Chow, fresh fruit and vegetables. It's laden with colorful produce.
You know anything about engine?
Asks a man, obscured by the raised triangular hood of the truck. You come around next to him. One glance tells you that there's nothing obviously wrong with the engine, but there's smoke coming from somewhere deep behind and beneath it. The gearbox, maybe.
Ah, never mind.
He just slams down the hood of the truck, wisps of smoke leaking out of it. He sits on the edge of the truck bed, and you get a good look at him. He's tall, well-built, fans himself with his Panama hat.
Sent my brother over to get a real mechanic, but... well, I can barely keep this running as it is. Wish I still had a farm.
He sighs theatrically, surprising himself with his own easy honesty.
Sam Liang, landless, broke truck driver. Dad would have been proud. Well, it was my name on the deed. Had to be. But it was Father who bought it.
He shrugs, eyes fixed on a horizon you can't see.
You already know what happened, don't you? Same thing that happens to everyone's farm. Had to. It was either the farm or the truck. I could keep growing them, or I could keep selling them.
Et salut à toi Morpheus, bienvenue sur le live. Et bon courage. Allez, on va aller voir Bertha. Allez voir Bertha et probablement ce sera la fin de l'épisode après ça.
I'm from a long line of people that moved on. My grandparents came from Germany because they had to. My husband's parents came west to Ohio, then Missouri, then Oklahoma. But my husband didn't have the courage for it in the end. He'd rather drink and die than fight and live. Anyway, know any good hopeful stories to share? I could sure use one. That's a good one. I'll try to remember it when I'm out in the fields. Joy. Well, my husband's mother, Vivia, was a cuss. She told me once, it feels like a pretty good vengeance just being alive still when the world wants you dead. I've had a hard day. Do you know any hopeful stories to cheer me up? Thank you for sharing that one. I feel a little better now. I loved my husband up to when he took my girls back home. He said he'd rather lie down and die on Oklahoma soil than be spat on here. Well, I can't love someone that gives up, man or woman. Anyway, know any good hopeful stories to share? I could sure use one. Thank you for sharing that one. My past? Well, my son that was born dead I buried back by our old house in Okima. And then there were the 2 girls that lived long enough to come out here before my husband took them back. That's my past. I've had a hard day. Do you know any hopeful stories to cheer me up?
Bon, on va garder les histoires qui remontent le moral pour utiliser d'autres, étant donné que là c'est bon.
If you're trying to make me laugh, it's not working, you know. I haven't heard from my family since they headed back to Oklahoma. The way I see it, my husband killed them, heading back into the dust the way he did. I fought him as hard as I could. But he snuck the girls out of our tent one morning. And they're gone now. Anyway, I'm looking for a good laugh. Do you know any funny stories?
Ah. Alors attends, oui. Et du coup on vient de t'en raconter une.
Oh, my sides hurt. Trust. The only thing I can rely on is me. I'm not gonna stop trying to live before I die. Some people give up, but they're dud seed. California isn't what they told us. It gets cold here at night, same as anywhere. And the people here weren't happy to see us coming. We spend all day hungry while we're picking lettuce and apricots. Abundance all around, but we don't dare touch it. And there's no more west to go. I'm headed this way to the next job. You'd say hello if we cross paths again, all right?
Et voilà, là-dessus on va arrêter l'épisode, donc elle se trouve un peu plus loin. Faudrait qu'on revienne en arrière, peut-être qu'on fera ça au prochain épisode, on verra. Dans tous les cas, bah écoutez, je vous remercie d'avoir suivi ces quelques épisodes. Merci pour les vues, les pouces, les follow, les subs, tout ça, le soutien au quotidien. Et on se retrouve eh bien tout bientôt pour de nouvelles aventures, que ce soit sur ce jeu ou d'autres. Et je vous souhaite une excellente journée. Ciao tout le monde.